In today's episode, we work on an oil refinery that has zero waste. Welcome back to another episode of Satisfactory with my fellow friends. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day today. I'm having a great one myself, and in the last episode, we did a bunch of work, as we usually do. We set up petroleum coke, which was, by all rights, a big waste of time. I guess. I don't know. The jury's out whether or not it's worthwhile. In my opinion, it's not at the moment. It takes far too many resources to get it running. But, whatever. It's a later game. Definitely a late stage recipe. But I think I want to use my oil for other stuff rather than petroleum coke. And that's what we're going to do today. First of all, we're going to take some of that. And then second of all, we're going to take all of these. We're going to take those all with us. Oh, do I have enough room for one more? Thank you. All right, I was coming back to our base to grab a few things that were needed. Now, I've been working on the base off camera, kind of filling in the gaps, filling in the walls, just building just the boring stuff. And I've pretty much filled in the rest of the manufacturing plants on the first floor. And I've started to kind of lay out more of the manufacturing plants on the second floor. Again, this is more of a reproduction. This is just stuff we already have, but I'm going to need more of to make our base, more functional. So that's been good. Now, I also built or extended our train line out, and that's what we're going to go show you. I've been really busy, and this is why the video has taken so long to come out. It's just there's been so much back work, groundwork, underground work, overground work. Oh, cannons. Oh my gosh. Yeet. There's been the yeet cannons have been made, and yeah, we're going to take you over to our new petroleum processing place. It is quite literally, it is huge. It's massive. And we've extended our train line all the way over here. You can see here's a train station here. So yeah, it's pretty epic. It's pretty epic. We're doing the closed loop petroleum setup, which you can start to see right here. And we're just going to come in for a landing very gently here. As you can see, we have two launch cannons that take us to and from the other base. Oh my goodness, now that I've got these things kind of dialed in, they are freaking amazing. They are truly amazing. So, what we've got going on right now is just one part. Literally one part. Well, I guess it's technically 3 parts of 8, I think. It's going to take almost 60 refineries. All right, empty cartridges have been loaded up, the empty tanks, and we should start seeing some return bottles. There we go. And they should start coming back into the system, and sure enough, there should be some on both sides eventually here. And then that will start feeding into basically 7 on that side, 7 on this side. I have to do some better load balancing. I think I may need to split it up a little bit better, but as you can see, it's starting to work. And yeah, I think our power consumption is starting to go through the roof. We're going to actually have to really be careful because we're adding, like I said, 60 refineries. So we're definitely going to have to do something with that fuel byproduct to take care of things. Also, there is a geyser. There's a geyser right there. And so we could probably power some of this plant with that one geyser, which is kind of handy. So yeah, there you go. And am I seeing bottles on the bottom? I am. Nice. So yeah, system is working. The bottler is working, at least. We're not balanced correctly. I know that for a fact. So we're going to have to work on that a little bit. We're going to have to clean it up and make sure it works perfectly. Okay, we've got the next section all done. We have the heavy crude oil up and running. So we have 10 plants over there. So we're taking one oil pipe in. That's right. We're taking one oil pipe in, and we're generating 400 heavy oil residue and also some polymers. So now we have to deal with the polymers. And the polymers will be going into the residual rubber. So we're going to need only 5, actually, as it turns out. We're only need 5 more refineries. So I think we'll probably just jam those in over here to generate the rubber. And that's it. That one is finished. Although, I think we're going to need some water as well with that one. So yeah, we might actually, so we're going to need 200 water and 200 resin per minute. So we're going to actually have to bring this resin, we're going to have to pipe it over here somewhere. I'm guessing. It will make the most amount of sense. We'll probably build out another little building over here. These all look really bad. They're all floating, but we'll encapsulate these in and nice looking buildings once we've got everything laid out and all lined up. I'm just trying to spread it out just so we have some space. Also trying not to use pumps, so this is on the same level basically as the oil refineries or the oil extractors. And yeah, looks like fuel's coming out. Yeah, it's just waiting for some packaged water. Okay, here, packaged water's coming back in. Nice. We should start seeing a return ever so slowly. I don't know that we have enough of these, and I don't know that it's balanced correctly, but well, that's the easy part. We can easily fix that. Yeah, it looks like it's actually coming back nice and quick now. Eventually, on the other side here, we're going to end up with too much fuel, and we're going to need to put that somewhere. For example, we're already almost full, and we won't be able to do anything. So the loop is closing ever so slowly. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 out of the 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So now I have to do the other 4. All right, we have worked and done a ton of stuff. Oh my goodness. As you can see, we've expanded the factory quite significantly. So let's take a look at what we've done now. We've added in the next 2 parts, maybe even 3 parts to this factory. So up here, we've added in 10 fuel generators, which will take care of most of the excess fuel. We actually need to remix the fuel into our production line. I still need to do that. So let's go back and take a look. Here, we're converting oil into the first byproducts, which is polymer and heavy crude oil. Here, we're taking the polymer resin and adding it to water to make rubber. Now, that residual rubber is currently just being offloaded into nothingness. However, it is now going to be going into this setup where we take the rubber and I believe where is it? We make plastic, alternate plastic right here, where we combine it with fuel and rubber to make plastic. So we're going to keep some of the plastic, or sorry, some of the rubber that's coming off here. We're going to get 300 from here, and then we're going to make plastic over here. We're going to keep 300 of the plastic from here. So I got to finish this section off, and then I need to go add yet another section as well that takes more fuel and produces a little bit more resources here. So it's getting quite complicated, but it's working out nicely. So what I've done is we had enough water processing over here, so I just ran the water line down over here, and so we needed water. As I mentioned before, we had water to package to go into this part of the plant. Over here, we're just using it to combine into the rubber making matrix. So that section is now done. And then we have the 10 fuel generators over here. So I need to run the fuel over to this side, and then we got to remix some things, and we'll be almost done. Well, we just got done our live stream, folks, and oh my goodness, we finally finished the beast off. So we'll take you through a tour because this is kind of where it all starts. Down here, we have our water extractors, of which we have 10. I believe. Yep, there we go. We got 10 water extractors feeding 3 pipes of water. 2 pipes are going up, well, 3 are going up, and 1 is actually going over there. I'm using an overpressure concept. Now, I don't know if this is correct. You guys can comment down below, but this is how I'm doing it. And I'm basically tapping the pipes so that they are always cross-linked in some fashion, for the most part. And so basically we have a couple of these pipes which we know we need 100% of, and those are going up top to the packager and unpackaging plant. Sorry, the packaging plant of water. And down here we just cross-link them, and then this pipe is what's feeding our fuel and rubber processing area. Right here, this pipe goes all the way down here. Now, I also want to preface this. This is not my design. This is a design you can find on the Satisfactory wiki, which is absolutely amazing. I'll leave a link down below. So I literally just copied their suggestion, and so far it works perfectly. Now, I've been slowly adding these empty fuel canisters, which miraculously turn into water jugs. Don't ask. Don't ask what process they use to convert those into those. I think they're going to have to work on that. Anyways, yeah, so this is where the water is packaged. And then we send the packaged water back up over here. And because we don't have enough beltage yet, we don't have the Mark 6 belts because they don't exist. We're using this setup. We're using 2 belts, and this one's jammed up pretty good, but this one still needs a little bit of love. We're still a little short on the number of bottles. I've been trying to make sure that literally the entire line is packed. Now, it doesn't seem to be affecting anything. I think we have enough, which is good. Now, as you can see, we're running down the water main, the water main back to the next part of our plant, which is actually converting heavy oil byproduct, or whatever they call it. There you go. Heavy oil residue, and that's actually creating fuel with water. So we're taking the water, we're mixing it with fuel, and then we are sending it over here. Now, is this... Yeah, so basically we're taking the water package, it's actually getting converted, so this plastic thing is now becoming a fuel thing, again, somehow, and then we're unpacking the fuel right here. So this row is unpacking, and this row is kind of creating and packing the fuel. So that's the fuel plant right here. This whole section is all about the fuel, essentially. Then we take the fuel and we split it off into two sections. We take it and we put it into, we kind of reuse it, and we send it back into two areas. One, we send it up to 10 fuel generators, which we're going to look up at in a second here. So above this platform here is 10 fuel generators, each producing 150 megawatts. So that's 1,500 megawatts, or 1.5 gigawatts of power, which is very nice. So that helps offset the cost of this plant. I believe the total cost is in the neighborhood of 2,800 megawatts to run this whole thing. So we do have we are running a deficit producing all this stuff, which is fine. That's not bad, but it definitely offsets the deficit being able to convert the fuel. Now, I think if we had turbo fuel set up, we might be able to take this and make it more efficient, but for now we don't. So this is how we're doing it. So basically, how this works is, in the end, after you're done processing and reusing and processing all the materials, you end up with 300 fuel to use, you end up with 300 plastic, and you end up with 300 rubber. So all of this setup nets you 300 of each of those resources per minute off of one single oil pipe. That's right, just one 300 oil pipe. It's kind of crazy that dramatic effect, that supplies all the oil needed for this whole refinery. It's pretty cool. But, I mean, you can just see how much setup this is. Now, right below us we have an alternate heavy oil residue, which creates polymer and the heavy oil. Now we take that heavy oil and that gets turned into fuel over here. The polymer comes over here, and it gets shunted in and mixed in with some water, as you can see right here. So that water main we brought all the way over here feeds this section of plant, and I think there's like 8 of these, or 9, or 5. There's 5. That's right. There's 5 of these. Now, the byproduct of this is rubber. Now, we take that rubber and we actually mix it back in. We mix it, we take that rubber and we put it back into this plant, which makes plastic. All right, so you can see we're making some plastic. So we take the rubber and then we mix it plastic and we mix it with fuel. So that's where that fuel pipe comes in. So we're bringing fuel over here. All right, that fuel comes in, we mix it with that, we make plastic. We then take the plastic and we save some of it. We take half of it, effectively, and then we mix it with more fuel and we turn it back into rubber. We then take some of the rubber, this is where it gets crazy. We take some of that rubber and we feed it back in to the plastic plant. That's right. So it's a little weird. You're taking the byproduct of the byproduct and mixing it back into the same. It's almost, there's words for what that means. I'll spare you. Then on the other side here, we're basically taking, and what I need to do here is I need to split this so that we feed the overload in here, and then we're keeping our 300 rubber per minute on this side. Right now I'm just dropping them into sinks, making coupons. But in the future, what we'll end up doing is actually running that down to the train station, which is over there. So, anyways, that is it. That is the gist of it. And like I said, I'll send you, I'll put a link in the description down below so you guys can see all the resources needed. But it boils down to almost 60 refineries. It is quite intensive to build, so just be ready. This guy's not happy. What you waiting on, buddy? You're waiting on some rubber. Okay, so as an example, we do have to do a little bit better load balancing. That is a thing. But honestly, at this point in time, I just want to get this episode out to you guys. And we definitely have to tweak a few things here and there just to maximize production. Because I am seeing some yellows, and we want to see all greens. But we're close. We're really close. There's a few little minor tweaks that need to happen, probably in the way things are distributed, which is easy. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I do apologize. It took over a week or almost a week to get it out to you. It literally took like 3 streams or 2 streams and like another probably 8 hours of work. And I still haven't finished yet. We still need to fix a few things. We still need to make it look pretty. Yeah, and on top of that, we still have more oil over here that we can use. So I don't know. I need a break from oil. Maybe we'll go into nuclear. Yeah, nuclear sounds better. Anyways, if you like this video, you know what to do. Bang on the like button down below. Crash that subscribe button. As always, I'd love to hear from you in the comments down below. My name is Crash, and I'm out.